I had to do it. I had to get more junk silver, or constitutional silver if you will. And so I thought, why not show you what I got? Hey everybody, it's Rob with Rob Finds Treasure. That's right, it's time for another LCS slash silver dealer pickup because I have kind of a deal with my silver dealer. Whenever he gets over $50 in face, he accumulates it for me, throws it in a bag, and once it's over 50, he gives me a call. Well, he called me when he had $46.95 and said, hey, I haven't gotten any for a few days, want to come pick it up? And I thought, sure. My motor went down yesterday, I got sidetracked, I didn't go and pick it up. Then he called me this morning, reminded me to come pick it up. He said he had 55.10. I drove there today, and by the time I got there, he had 325 more. So a total of 58.35 was the total face value of the junk silver that I got. I didn't even look at it in the shop. I just went in there, picked it up, gave him the money that he needed for it. And man, we got lots of goodies in here. So he knows what I like. I see a barber. He knows what I like, and he does have a pretty good knowledge of numismatic values for some of the coins, so I'm not expecting to find a lot of key dates, but I could still score some semi-keys, and I could still score some errors of varieties because he doesn't pay a lot of attention to those. And again, it's hard for me to turn down constitutional silver. It's so beautiful. Well, anyway, we'll do like I always do. Let me go ahead and get these stacked by denomination first. We'll review the stacks and just see what we got as far as every denomination and obviously stripe design. And then we'll go ahead and from there sort them again and see if we have anything really exciting. Let me get started. All right, before I get started, I just want to look at this beautiful pile of constitutional silver on my mat. Unbelievable. I absolutely love it. Okay. Oh, I'm getting more and more excited by the second here. What are you going to do? All right, let me get started for reals now, and I'll bring you back when I have them sorted. Well, I lied one more time. I see an 1892 or 1893 Christopher Columbus coin in here. Nice. It's an 1893, and I can't remember if I have a 92 or a 93 in my collection. We'll have to check. Sweet. All right, so I'm back again a little bit early. I just keep seeing goodies. I know they're worn slick, but come on. Come on. That's awesome. Look at this SLQ right here. It's like every little time I look around, there's something cool. I keep promising you I'll be back when they're stacked, but if I keep finding cool stuff, I'll bring you back in. Let's get back to stacking. So we got the half dollar stacked. We got a few Kennedys, a bunch of Benjis, some Walkers, only one Barber half, and we ended up with 3 of these 1893 Christopher Columbus commemoratives. So I'll be using some of those for a giveaway, of course, because I don't need that many of them, but really cool. As I've cleaned away the half dollars, there's lots of little good finds in here. Lots of little good finds. I see Barber Quarters. I haven't seen a Barber Dime yet, and I believe as I was sifting through here, I even saw a Canadian dime somewhere in here, which obviously is still silver, and I will take it. So I'm pretty excited to say the least. Let me go ahead now and get the quarters taken out and see what else we see. I did see this SLQ here, and I think that's the one I showed you guys. Maybe not, 27. I thought there was a 26 in here. Maybe this is it. Yeah, a couple of SLQs. I'll take that all day as well. All right, let's get the quarters stacked. Okay, so we got the quarters stacked. We got that 1845 seated, no mint. I haven't checked the Barber Quarters yet, but they're stacked there. 2 SLQs and a nice stack of GWs. Love the toning on that top one. Very happy with it. Matter of fact, the top 2 are pretty cool toned. So we'll be going through those. Now we're on to the dimes. Figured I'd show you. I am seeing a few Barber Dimes in here, as well as a Canadian. There it is. We got a Canadian in here as well. 1953, I believe. Yeah, 53. So now we got to get the dimes stacked. I see a lot of Mercs, which I enjoy very much. So we'll get them all stacked up, and then we'll do a bird's eye view of everything we have prior to then scouring through looking for semi-keys, keys, or any errors or varieties. Man, we had a lot of dimes. It's 58.35, so we're all good, assuming he counted these two as dimes, of course, the Canadians, both 1953. This dime, this rosy dime, is really damaged, didn't stack well, so not too pleased with it. It is a 53, luckily, not a 1955. That being said, holy moly, we did actually find a couple of Barber Dimes in there as well. So pretty good mix of constitutional silver. Would have been nice to get a seeded half, but beggars can't be choosers. Now that we've done that, I guess I'm going to go ahead and go through the half dollars first, sleeve up the regular ones, and let you know if I encounter anything I need for my books or anything that is worth mentioning, like if it is a key or semi-key date. Let's get into them. Just a quick update, the 3 Christopher Columbus commemoratives from 1893. Of course, I already had an 1893. I don't have an 1892, so I don't need them really. But the cool thing is, this 1913 Denver minted Barber Half Dollar, I actually didn't have it in my book. Now, I'm missing a lot of Barber Halves, and most of them are not very good like this one, but still fills a hole, so I'll take that any day of the week. So for the quarters, nothing major. 1845. Liberty seated, no mint mark. Very common, still good to have. SLQs were a 26 and a 27. No mint marks on those, but legible dates, which is always good. As far as the Barber Quarters, there really was nothing great. We did have an 1895, and it is out of New Orleans, an 1898 Philly, an 1899 Philly, completely trashed, a 1903 O, which is a slightly better date, a 1907 O, and this is probably the best looking one of the bunch. Pretty good detail on it. I'll take it. And then we got a couple of 1908s. One's Philly and 2 are New Orleans. Again, pretty common. A 1914, one is a Philly, and the trashed one, of course, is a Denver. Been nice if that was in better condition. And then a 1915 out of Denver as well. A little bit better date, but wish it would have been the San Francisco mint. As far as the George Washington quarters, a lot of good early 40s in here, but none of them are double die. None of them are a key date, of course, or a key mint. And then a couple of 64s. So I'm going to get these rolled up, and then we'll move on to the dimes. So the Barber Dimes are all either pretty trashy or very common. There's no mint marks on any of them. An 08, 212s, and 213s. Couldn't upgrade any of them, really. As far as the Rosy Dimes, I was able to take 3 and upgrade my book slightly. So I think I only need one more Rosy Dime, a 1955, and then I need a new 55D as well to complete the book and be happy. I was able to take a couple, like I said, and make the book a little better, so that made me happy. I purposely saved the Merc Dimes for last because that's a lot of them. I got to sort them by decade first, then by year. And anything north of 1940 and above, other than the 42s and the 45s, which I'll check for the 42 or 41, and the 45 for the micro S's, I'll be stacking to the left and putting those in rolls. So I'll be back once I have them by decade, and we'll go from there. Well, that was some work, but we got a handful of teens, pretty good amount of 20s, handful of 30s. All of the 40, 41, 43s, and 44s are in here. This is the stack of 42s and 45s, so we had a lot of those. I got to go through the 45s first and call out anything that's not an S because we're looking for the micro S mint mark. Let me see how many S's I get out of that stack. Well, out of that entire stack of 45s, we ended up with only 3 1945 S's, which is about par for the course. I got them under the scope. They're all the regular size ones. The one on the bottom looks smaller. It's just a play on light. But they're all the regular size. Really, you're looking for the micro S. And just to show the difference, you can clearly see the micro S. The S is pretty much flattened and a lot smaller. It's not until you get into the higher grades that it's worth much. It's almost worth the same value as most of the very good through EF40 condition ones. But still, you always want to look for it because if you can find it in high grades, you're sitting fat. But first, you got to find one. None of these are it. Still fun to look. Now we're looking for the 42 over 41, which is also a air where they punched the 2 over the 1. Now this was done in both Philadelphia and in Denver. So I got to take out the 42 Denvers and Philadelphias out of here, and then I got to look at every single one of them. And it's going to take some time, but let me do that and see if I can find anything that is questionable at least. Well, as expected, we didn't find one. It is one you want to look for. I just want to show it to you. 42 or 41 out of the Philly Mint, and 42D, 42 or 41 out of the Denver Mint, obviously. Again, these are just Redbook prices, but look at the price of these coins if you can find them. They are ridiculous. It's pretty obvious to spot, which is probably why they're easy to pull out of circulation. 42 or 41 from Philadelphia is ridiculously easy to see. And then it's a little bit less visible on the 42D, but you can still see it. That's why whenever I buy junk silver, I always check my 42s for sure more than anything, because if you can score one of those one day, even in a F12 condition, is absolutely a great score. Enough of that. Let's move to the 30s, 20s, and teens and see if there's any good finds in those Mercury Dimes. So we finished the Mercury Dimes. I got a little bit of a excitement for a second. I saw this 1916, flipped it. I saw a mint mark, and of course, as you know, the 1916D is ridiculous. Put it down, zoomed in on it. It's an S. Still a 1916S, 10.4 million minted. Still puts it a little bit better than what I paid for sure, even in this condition. Another early teens with a mint mark. We got a 1917. This is out of Denver. Again, 9.4 million minted. It's trashy, but we'll take it. And then finally, a 1919, also Denver, also trashy, less than 10 million minted as well. So 3 dimes right around 10 million minted in the early teens with a mint mark. I'll take them. No 26S's this batch. No 21s, of course, and nothing too exciting, but always fun to see some coins with mint marks. We'll be giving those away during the live stream. That about does it. We've cleaned off the table, or at least off the mat. You can see how dirty that silver was. I got to wash my mat now, but I enjoyed it. It's always fun. You're not always going to score great stuff, but at least you get to hold some old constitutional silver in your hand and have the thrill of hunting some old silver for maybe a semi-key or a key date if you're so lucky. Now, I have scored a 1926S in one of my junk silver purchases before, so it's not uncommon to find something. You're just not always going to find something. If you enjoyed this junk purchase hunt with me, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting, and thanks for watching.